Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 150 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear on a Friday this week. And this week we're doing Insidious Chapter 3. I'm sure I called it Conjuring Chapter 3 previously when I've been plugging it. I'm always getting them mixed up. But I love the Insidious series, apart from the last one, The Red Door, which were awful. But the first Insidious is one of my favourite horror films of all time. And this one's pretty good, although it's not up there with the first one. But so we're doing that. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube and Rumble and Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. I've checked them already, and then close the windows so I don't get stupid choppy audio and all that stuff. What else? Explore the description for links for stuff like merch. There we go. Mugs with me mug on. Because I forgot to put my t-shirt on, so I grabbed that really quick. Merch. Me books. Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats noshing down on unsuspecting people in the North Yorkshire village. And Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and all that cool stuff. On Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. I'm knocking things over. Anyway, never mind. Win graces here. All that Twitch money. I don't get enough views for any Twitch money. I don't think I get any views on Twitch, to be completely honest. Or very few. Anyway, what else? The description. Also check out the links for like my other websites and my other channels, and become a member and you get exclusive videos and early access videos and all that cool stuff. Become a subscriber. Subscribe to the channel. You can join in the chat if you subscribe for more than 24 hours. Got to do that because of the world we live in. What else? On social medias and all that stuff. Right, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to share the screen when we start the film. So just let me do that now. I am such a dolt. Do you know why? Do you know why I'm faffing and I'm all a dither? Because we're doing a video really quickly. I've just uploaded a video, a Star Trek one. That's only a minute long, if that. It's a bit like a Major Grin video about Spock and mind melds, but anyway, never mind. That's why, and I was doing it like 5 minutes before the show began. Anywho, Insidious Chapter 3, as you may guess, it's the third film in the Insidious series, not directed by James Wan this time, although he does stay on as a producer and co-writer. This one's directed by Lee Whannell. It's his directorial debut. He wrote the first... Well, he's written all of the Insidious films. He's also done the Saw films and other stuff. His other directorial efforts include The Invisible Man remake, not the original one, the remake, which I wasn't a huge fan of, to be honest, because it wasn't about... Spoilers, he's not invisible. Anyway, what else? That Wolfman one that came out recently did that, which, while it wasn't a bad film, it wasn't a good Wolfman film. Like The Invisible Man wasn't a bad film, but it wasn't a good Invisible Man film. Come on, Lee Whannell, sort yourself out. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so he's directed it. Producers, Jason Blum, because it's a Blumhouse production. Oren Peli, who was the writer, producer, director of the original Paranormal Activity. So he's doing well for himself. It stars Dermot Mulroney, Stephanie Scott, Angus Simpson, Lee Whannell, he's acting as well, and Lynn Shay, and various other people. And it had a budget of $11 million, which is a lot compared to the original Insidious had a budget of less than $1 million. I have no idea how they did it. I imagine the marketing were a hell of a lot more than that, but the production budget officially on the original Insidious was under $1 million. But this one had $11 million, a box office of $113 million, so it did pretty well. I'm not saying it did very well, because it's a horror film. When I see horror films, though, that have got these bigger budgets, like $30 million and $50 and $60 million, I always think, You're making a mistake. But anyway, horror films should be low budget, in my opinion. But anywho, so there is that. What else? Yeah, anyway, so there we go. So we'll get on with it. Obviously, we're not going to just watch the film because YouTube will go mental and stop the stream, and maybe, I'll get into trouble and take my channel down. Who knows in this day and age? But we're going to go through it in a series of stills. It is a breakdown and review. I'll give you my thoughts on it. I've watched the special features on the Blu-ray. There are not that many special features. There are some little bit behind the scenes, but there's no commentaries or anything like that. But never mind. So we're going to rely on. There isn't even that much trivia on IMDb, to be completely honest. Not that's interesting anyway. But, I'm burping already. I've only just started. Right, is that pot noodle repeating on me? That's a horror film in itself, isn't it? Right, so we'll get on with it. And I shall pop myself down in the corner and we shall begin. I know I say this every time. I can never find my thing. There we go. Right, off we jolly well go. We shall begin. Right. Is it going to come on? There we go. It's coming on now. Hope I've picked the right bloody film. Right. Get through all the credits. This is the Blumhouse credit thing, isn't it? What they call it? Titles. Ident. That's the word. Right, off we go. Insidious Chapter 3. Does it do the... I can't remember now. I only watched it like a couple of hours ago and I can't remember if it did the scary music. Does it do it? Let's have a listen. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Right. Chapter 3. A few years before the Lambert haunting. I think it's supposed to be 3 years. I think it says that in the trivia. Anyway, I'm sure it says that somewhere. Cracker, it's not yawning. Yes, 3 years. It's set in 2007, and the original Insidious took place in 2010. So here we go. A few years before the Lambert haunting, which was what happened in the first Insidious with I forgot his name now. Rose Byrne and the fella from The Conjuring. I forgot his name. Never mind. He's not in this anyway. Neither's Rose Byrne. But Lynn Shay is. Right, so here's the main character of the film. This is Quinn. Sorry. Christopher Lambert. Not that one. Or is it Christophe Lambert? No, it isn't. It isn't Christopher Lambert. I forgot his name now. Not Patrick Wilson. Is it Patrick Wilson? Don't know. I'm going to have to check now. I'm going to have to blooming check. Right, just a minute. Insidious franchise. Let's open that up in a new tab. Start. Yes, Patrick Wilson. I'm all right. Patrick Wilson. Right. Whew, we got there in the end. Right. Where were we? Oh, right. This is Quinn, played by, I think, Stephanie Scott, who I've never heard of. Not seen her in anything else. I'm sure she's done loads of stuff, but she's pretty good in this. She's called Quinn because for some reason Lee Whannell, the writer and director of this, likes to give his kids last first names. In the first one we had, what was it, Dalton and Foster, and in this one we've got Quinn, a girl called Quinn, but not the mighty Quinn. But anyway, here she is, and she's actually knocking on somebody's door. There it is, nice house. By the way, in the filming locations on IMDb, it gives you the actual addresses of where they actually are. This is 445 North Avenue 53, Los Angeles, California. I think at least the first one and this one at least were all filmed in California, oddly enough. Usually horror films are filmed in like Canada or Eastern Europe somewhere because they're cheaper, aren't they? But all filmed in California, in LA. But anyway, she's at Lynn Shay's house, who is... I forgot the bloody name. Elise. I forgot the name of her last name. Elise Rainier. Yes, I was going to say that, but it didn't sound right in my brain. So she's knocking on the door. She wants to talk to Elise because she's been recommended to Quinn by a friend. If you remember, Elise is a psychic medium. And she's been recommended to Quinn because Quinn's mother has passed away about a year earlier than the film of cancer. But anyway, so she's asked, she said, I want to see if you can get in touch with my mum. And she's saying, no, don't do that anymore. So remember, this is a prequel. This is like 3 years before Insidious. So obviously she's going to get back into doing it. But she says, don't do that anymore because, something's happened. And so she doesn't do it. And anyway, we learn that she's come a long way on the bus to see her. So she invites her in for a cuppa or whatever, a chat, and so she does end up, having a go at it to try to contact her mother. This scene as well kind of does me head in. But anyway, she's saying, that she had breast cancer, which spread to her lungs, and then we get a very, I don't know, acting school scene. I don't know. She does play an actress, by the way, or a budding actress in this. So I don't know, maybe it's like that. But this scene here where she's saying, what was your mother like? And then she goes into acting mode. I'm just going to play a little bit because it does me head in.
She was great. She could always hang out with all of my friends.
Very acting school. She was great. Oh, anyway. Not that I know bugger all about acting. Anyway, Wingrace says, wish I was a psychic medium, psychic extra large if I'm lucky. I'd be a psychic XXXXL. If it were me. Although I have lost weight. I'm not as massive as I used to be. But not far off. Although I've put weight on this week. Too many chocolates. Anyway, so she's describing her mum how she loves her and stuff. And she calls her Lily. And I don't think she calls her by her full name. I don't think she does anyway. Let's see if she asks her what she's called. My mum. You come all this way. My mum died a year and a half ago. She had cancer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then she just says that. And then I think she just says her name's Lily. But later on in the film, which I'll mention it now because I'll probably forget, Elise says Lilith. So how does she know her full name's Lilith? Which is a curious choice for a name as well in a horror film. As Lilith, Adam's first wife, who became a demon, kind of like a vampiric sort of demon. But anyway, that's another tale. Anyway, so she tries to get in touch. So, by the way, she says that you've tried to contact your mother on your own, haven't you? And she says yes, but but she's not replied to me. So I don't think she's been doing like Ouija boards or holding seances or anything like that. She doesn't say that anyway. Which I would have added in the screenplay. I'd have said something like, I haven't tried any rituals or anything like that. I've just called out and she's not replied. But so I don't think she has. Or maybe she has because we learned that something has awakened in her apartment where she lives, or her apartment block. But anyway, so that's why I've come here. So she says, all right, I'll give it a go. And she offers her $50, but she won't take the money. She says, if I take the money, I'll be getting back into this business. So she doesn't want any money. Anyway, so she turns off the lights. Is anybody there? Look, she says Lily Brenner there, but later on she says Lilith Brenner. Anyway, maybe she looked her up. Maybe she looked in the obituaries from a year ago to get her full name. Who knows? But anyway, she doesn't find Lily, but she does find somebody else. And it was that hearing noises and stuff. Lots of jump scares in this film, by the way. But they're pretty good ones. I'm not a fan of jump scares. I like creepy stuff. There is some creepy stuff as well in this. I'm more of a fan of things in the background or things on the edge of the screen or something like that you think, did I just see that? And then you rewind. I know you can't do it in the cinema, but if you're watching it on Blu-ray or whatever, you can rewind and think, oh, yes, there was something there. Or, no, there wasn't. It was just my eyes playing tricks on me. Anyway, so she didn't get in touch with her, so she says she apologises and that, and she goes home and she's in bed there. I think we're going to get one of them creepy scenes here, I think. Is it this or is it later on? It might be later on. But She can hear noises from the other apartments. A neighbour lives next. Well, obviously a neighbour lives next door, 'cause that's what neighbours do. But there's a family live next door. I forgot his name. I better check. um, do you know what? I don't know. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. I'm trying to go. I'm looking at IMDb and trying to go by his photo. Is that it? Hector. Hector and his dad Mel live next door. Don't know if his mother's there. I've no idea, but they live next door. And Hector kind of fancies her, and I'm not surprised because she's very pretty, isn't she? Anyway, right. So the next morning. So it must be later on where's the creepy bit. Her dad's getting ready for work. Getting her brother for school who's called Alex, and I was thinking, why hasn't he got a first last name? Why isn't he called Smith or something? But they called him Alex. But so getting him ready for school. Well, she's a budding actress. This is a play that she's practicing. She's going to an audition. She's got a diary, which is important to the plot. This is Quinn's diary. Because there's something in the back of her diary that she hasn't seen, I don't think, for some reason. I think that's what they said later on. That her mother put there. And she obviously just hasn't turned to the last page in her diary for some reason, I think. Anyway, yay, vinyl, yay. Anyway, so she's learning her lines for her audition. Right. This might be the next morning, I think, because... Or is he not got up? Is it still the same morning and everybody's still getting ready? I don't know. But she's supposed to be getting her brother ready for school, and he's not getting ready. And he's saying, help me out, I'm drowning here, because he's obviously struggling, being a single dad. I've only been a single dad for... How old's Aidan? Well, 30 years. It is, exactly, yes, 30 years. 29 years, technically. But anyway, never mind. Right, so she's taking him out taking him to school or taking him to the bus or whatever. This is where we meet Hector. Obviously, fancies her. Anyway, so that's where we meet. Can't remember what these are called. Hey, she's like the crazy old lady. Rumty tumty tum. Sorry, I'm trying to find her name. Be here somewhere. Is it Danielle? No. Where are we looking? No, it's not her. Where the heck is she? Grace. It's Grace. That's who it is. And her husband Harry. And she's got dementia, so she says crazy things. She's like, nah, I know you. And then she starts talking about the birds in the square or whatever that you can't eat. But so I think it was a crazy lady, but she's been seeing the things going on. Later on, there's a spooky scene where she says, I've seen the man in your room and all that. Anyway, so she's dropped Alex off at school, or dropped him off at the bus stop or whatever. Now she's running to her audition. Here we go. She's getting ready to practice her lines for her audition, because it's an audition for a school, an acting school or a drama school that's in New York. They're in California. She wants to go to this school in New York, and apparently the school is run by James Wan, because we're going to see him in a minute. There he is. There's James Wan, cameoing as the fellow that runs the acting school. I don't know who she is. And she fluffs her lines, she forgets her lines, and they say, okay, you can try again. And then we cut. By the way, she sees something. I forgot to mention that. Before she goes in, she sees something. Is it this bit? See if we can see it. She gets a spook. There we go. She looks round, sees a man, a creepy man, with some sort of mask on his face, waving at her. I would poo myself. Anyway, this looks in, and obviously he's gone, because that's all always happens. Then she fluffs the lines because she's distracted. And then it just cuts to, there we go, she's sitting on the curb with her friend, who is called, I can never remember names. You know what I'm like? I think it's Danielle, is it? That don't sound right. Let me check. It might be. It might be. Maybe it'll tell us in the subtitles. I think it's Danielle. She's saying I hate him, but I think she's actually talking about her dad, because she's not getting on with her dad at the moment. But anyway. But right, so anyway, so they're having a bit of girl talk and all that stuff. And they were saying, "You're such a bad actor, born to be an actress." But anyway, so they're going to go off their ways. They have a bit of banter with these lads. But they're going to go off their ways now. And there goes Danielle down the street. And now Quinn, I probably forgot her name already. Quinn sets off. And then we get a proper big jump scare. She sees somebody in the street. I think it's the fella again with the mask. I don't know if it shows us here. Does it? Does it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I know when she recounts it later on, and I'm thinking, did it show it earlier on? Yes, it does. She sees him again. But then, suddenly, jump scare. Are you ready? Here it comes. Bang! She gets hit by a brum. Looked really good, didn't it? In the behind the scenes, it tells you how they did this. There's obviously a lot of jump cuts and, wipes as edits and maybe a bit of CG, but obviously she doesn't really get run over. They filmed the car doing its, coming to a sudden stop. They filmed her all separately, and then they filmed her like going, ugh! And then they filmed the car hitting the dummy. But anyway, so she's been hit by a car. Here comes Danielle. Somebody help us. She doesn't look well. Hang on, does it show her on the floor? Pete's sake. There we go, she goes running up. And she's a bit bashed up, but she's not dead, don't worry, because she's got the rest of the film to get through. So she ends up in hospital. She's got like broken legs and stuff and all that. And she does actually die. Her heart stops. There we go. Her heart stops, and we see that she the point of view, it's as though she's rising out of her body. She's having an out-of-the-body experience. So she's rising up out of her body, looking, backing out of the operating theatre into a corridor. And there she is, essentially in the further, I suppose. And I think she's going to see that scary man, I think. Any second now. There he is. Another jump scare. It's called I forgot what it's called. The Wheezy Man or something. I forgot what they call him. The man who can't breathe. I was going to say that, but it didn't sound right for some reason. It's like Homer Simpson describing Speed, innit? The film. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. That one. And he's the man who can't breathe. Anyway, there he is. And later on in the film, he's described as a demon, but it just seems more like a spirit. He's kind of an evil spirit, isn't he? Because it doesn't look like a demon, does it? But anyway, not like the lipstick-faced demon we've seen in the first one, because he's got hooves and everything, hasn't he? Like demons have. But anyway. Right, so they sort her out, they bring her back, and she comes to. I don't know how much time's passed, but anyway, she ends up out of hospital. That's where she's recounting. He says, he doesn't say how are you, and he says Dad's here. She actually calls out for her mum at first, and he says it's me, Dad. And then he just says, can you remember anything? I thought, bloody hell, mate. You should just say to her, I'm here, love you, take it easy, whatever you need. Not like, can you remember anything? Just relive this horrific thing as soon as you wake up. Stupid man. Anyway, but so she does. I told you, they recount it. And then she doesn't remember anything. Then 3 weeks later, because it does say 3 weeks later there, they go to the apartment block, which is going to tell us where it is. The building. It's the Fleur de Lis Apartments on 1825 Whitley Avenue, Hollywood, Los Angeles. And it says street scenes, 929 South Broadway, downtown. Which street scenes? There's a few street scenes. I don't know which ones they mean. But anyway. Anywho. 3 weeks later, she's back home. Now we're wheeling her in a wheelchair. It's a nice apartment building, though, isn't it? Look, it's like a bloody swanky hotel, isn't it? With a receptionist and everything. But anyway, he's going to just park her in front of the crazy old woman, so she's going to feel all awkward. And this is where she tells her all about she's seen the man up in her room. He's gone to go and check his mail. That's why he's parked there. There we go. And anyway, so this is where she's going to say to her. She's saying it now. Missing the subtitles. There we go. I've seen the man in your room. He's up there right now. It's kind of give me the chills, this little scene. I think I will play it a bit. There we go. I will play a little bit.
Last night, I heard him in your room while you were gone.
And then she goes, he's up
He's
there.
up there right now.
I'm getting chills now. It kind of give me the chills because I was thinking, just imagine when you're not in, are there ghosts just standing about in your room or just walking about? As I said, weird stuff has happened in this house. For many years, as next door neighbours, they moved out. Well, they didn't move out. We had a family live next door, and I think they were like a father, a mother, and I think they had a son. And I think something happened to the mother. I don't know. I can't remember actually now. If she died or just moved, left them. I can't remember. But anyway, so I think they moved out. The house were empty for a while, but we could still hear footsteps and stuff moving about when we knew there were nobody in there. So that were creepy. So this is why this scene gave me the chills a little bit, because she's talking about when she wasn't in her room, she could hear the man in her room moving about. So chills. Anyway, surprise party. There we go. Danielle breathes in some helium, speaks in a squeaky voice, because she's a bit of a character. Enrico and Mel from next door. Obviously, Enrico fancies her. She's having a glance into her room because she's had the bloody terrors put up her, hasn't she? By Grace. But anyway, so Ernesto wants to christen her cast. You're a real traffic stopper, he says. Anyway, and there Mel says, anything you need. So that is good having nice neighbours, isn't it? I'm glad I've got nice neighbours as well. They're always friendly. My neighbours. My neighbour over the road today, he always calls me Big Man. Can't imagine why. Did it today. Hello, Big Man. Anyway. Right, so she's off into her room. Here we go. There we go. Helps her into bed. He's got her a gift basket. There we go. Stuff to eat and some, what they call them. There we go. Beef jerky. Why is beef jerky so expensive? They sell it in the supermarket and it's all right. It's like an acquired taste, isn't it, beef jerky? It's one of those weird things where you have a bite of it and you think, it's not that nice, and then you've got to eat more of it, haven't you? But why is it so expensive? Is it because they're like a whole cow compressed into a bag or something? But anyway, she says she's vegetarian. But she says, never mind, thank you. Anyway, so... Right, I think this is the creepy bit. She's asleep in bed. Is it what happens? That's it. She's asleep in bed. Another bit actually got me, me chill, me hairs on the back of my neck standing up. She hears a bell. He gives her a bell to ring. If she needs anything, like to go to the loo or whatever. He gives her a little bell to ring. You can see it on the side of the dresser. See if we can find it. Go back again. There you go, you can see it there. You can see it from my head, yes. A bell there. Anything in the background that I didn't notice? There is going to be something soon, but nothing in the shadows there that I can see. Anyway, she like wakes up, we hear the bell go, ding-a-ling-a-ling, and she sits bolt upright. And I was thinking, that happens quite a lot. It does to me anyway, where, not bells, but, you'll hear, a floorboard creak, or... something in the room or whatever, I'll just crack. I don't know. I've got a wardrobe. There's a wardrobe in my bedroom. And for some reason, every now and again, that just goes for some reason. I have no idea what it is in the wardrobe, but there's something in that wardrobe that makes a cracking sound. I have no idea what it is. But stuff like that. Or sometimes even voices. I've got voices in my head. They talk to me. I understand. Sometimes you'll. It's usually when you're nodding off, innit? Is it called hypnopompic or something like that? I don't know. So sound. You think you hear sounds as you're nodding off. You'll hear like a voice. I might hear somebody say your name or something like that, and it makes you go, huh? And or maybe it's ghosts. Who knows? But anyway, she hears the bell. She sits upright, and she don't know what it is. Is it this bit? It might be later. I'm getting me creepy bits mixed up. So anyway, I think her dad comes in. Oh no, it is this bit. Look behind her. There's a figure. Ah! And it starts walking towards her, and she turns over. And he's not there, and then thinks something's going to happen. Then the light goes on, and her dad's coming. Are you all right? I thought I heard the bell. Says, no, I'm fine. The man in her room was there. And it's obviously, we know it's the fella with the mask on that she saw when she died. Anywho, back at Elise's, she's having sandwiches. You notice she's got two plates out for some reason. We learned that she lost her husband about a year earlier, so probably about the same time that Quinn lost her mother, she lost her husband. So she's obviously set the table for him, probably out of habit, or maybe just a comfort thing, who knows. But she's having a sandwich. She's got a dog called Warren, obviously named after the Warrens from The Conjuring, another James Wan production director, as well as the first one. Anyway, she gets her husband's, what is it? It's like a vest, a cardigan vest, knitted vest, whatever. And she sits in bed, lies in bed with it. And she's going to sit bolt upright. She's going to see something, I can't remember. Do we see anything? I think she just hears something. I don't know if we see what she saw. I'm going to have to replay it again. Maybe there's a noise. Don't know. I can't remember. Have I got the volume up? Yes, I have. It's just a jump scare. Music, by the way, by Joseph Bishara. And we see him later on in the film, right at the very end. He also did the music. Right. Yes. And as we see, she's no longer holding the knitted vest, cardigan, whatever the hell it is. But she gets. Does she just drop it, or has it genuinely disappeared? Because you know what, I never noticed when I watched it earlier on. No, I think it has gone somehow. It's gone to the other side, to the further or whatever. So she gets a book of seeing, which she must have had specially made, I'm guessing. I don't think you can can you order these from Amazon? Don't know. My son's got one of these cool books. He got it for Christmas. I think it was Christmas. Yeah. And it's like I'm going to get it, just a minute. Got this cool book. It's like I don't know what it is. There you go. Hang on, I'll just go full screen myself. Just bear with me. There we go. You got this. I think you got it last Christmas. Got an eye on it, and it's a little clasp to open it up with. And it's it's just like a parchment paper, old parchment paper. It's really. I think you should have drawn. I want to draw in like the Book of the Dead from Evil Dead, images of demons and stuff. But it's really cool. But my son being my son, he has no interest whatsoever in this. But I think it's amazing. So it's got a little clasp on it and everything. It's cool. I like stuff like that. Anyway, put that under there. That's my book of seeing. Oh, press the wrong button. Hang on, there we go. Oh, see, we're all going to pot now. There we go. My book of seeing. As I said, she must have got this from Amazon, or the same place that my nephew got this for my son. Right, so she writes in. Is this supposed to be like automatic writing? I don't know. Or is she just writing in the first thing that's popped into her head? But she writes Quinn Brenner's name. So then she thinks, oh. Anyway, meanwhile, Quinn is just chilling in her room. pay attention to this chair. It's one of them like wicker chairs that's hanging on a chain. I was watching it earlier on, and I must admit, I was watching it in the daytime, and the sun were kind of shining on my TV. I was watching it like that, you know, because the sun was shining in the window. I could have just closed the blinds, but I couldn't be bothered. And I was sure there was somebody sitting in the chair. It kind of does look like it. It does look like a shape there, but I don't think it is. It was in my imagination. But the chair does move. I don't know if it's deliberate. I think it might be to distract you from, you know, a jump scare that's coming up. But anyway, she's sitting there, chilling out. And remember, Hector lives next door, and she goes tapping on the wall. She does like, you know, shaving a haircut, and the, you know, replies, you know, dit. So she does all that, and then she gets the phone out. There we go, and she says, she's talking to Hector, look, and saying hello, thanks for the stuff and all that. And he says, "Did I wake you?" She says, he'll be knocking on the wall, and he says, "I'm not home. I'm at my grandma's." Ah, so maybe it's his dad. I don't know. Knocking back. They never. We're supposed to think there's nobody home, and so it's spooky stuff knocking back. And they don't reply. But then we look again. Look, hang on, let's go back again. Go back again. We see it's in a different position, the chair, look. There we go. It's there in that position now, and when we come back to it, after the revelation that he's not home, the chair is in that position. And I'm expecting like somebody to sit forward or something, you know, but they don't. She just settles down to go to sleep. There we go. We see the chair not doing anything. It's there as a distraction because hang on, I'll put the volume on because I've got to keep pausing it else I get a copyright claim. It's coming. I keep pausing. Ah! Lots of that in this film. I should have counted them up, shouldn't I? I wonder if there is somebody done a jump scare count. Insidious 3 jump scare count. I wonder if somebody's counted them. Insidious 3 contains numerous jump scares, with one source estimating around 12 to 14 jump scares, although the exact count can vary depending on interpretation. So there you go, there's quite a few. Excuse me. Right, where were we? Oh my, she's got a photo of her and her mum by her bed, by the way. Right, so jump scare, obviously, you know, obviously the man who can't breathe. Why couldn't they give him a different name? But the man who can't breathe's arm grabbing hold of her in the night. She screamed. Obviously, Dad comes running in. What's happened? You all right? Yeah, fine. I forgot. She looks up and all this crack appears in the wall, in the ceiling. I mean, as she looks, we see all this banging from upstairs, and we see this crack appear in the ceiling. And then Dad comes running in. What's up? Oh, he says, "What the hell was that?" Because he heard the banging as well. So he goes to the what do you call him in America? We'd call him the caretaker here. I forgot what you call him. Like superintendent. I'm not thinking of that, but anyway, yeah, whatever. The superintendent or whatever, the caretaker of the building. They go up to the apartment above, and they always say, he says, "I told you, see, there's nobody living here. It's empty," and you can see that it's empty. And we see that there's a window there that's intact, but he sees some footprints. There we go, some icky footprints on the floor. I don't know what they're supposed to be. It's like some gooey, horrible stuff. But I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be. Is it like ectoplasm, or is it just like some demonic... Because it's supposed to be the footprints of, you know, the man who can't breathe, who's supposed to be a demonic spirit. So is it just supposed to be like just icky dirtiness, slimy, you know, just to make you think of, you know, filth? I don't know. But anyway. He leaves these horrible, icky footprints. They go straight under the bed, so he's obviously just walk through the bed to the window. He even touches it. Look, I won't touch it. I'd say, have you got a stick or something? But no, they've always got to touch it, haven't they, with a bare finger. Anyway. Yes, anyway. And I think, do we see that, or is this later on? No, it's later on. We see that the footsteps go all the way up to the window, which somehow gets broken. And I'm not sure if it tells us, if it shows how it gets broken. But anyway. Right. Breakfast again is always a disaster, it seems. Look at all the plates. There's only 3 of them. What's the my house? There's only 2 of us. But anyway, he says, Quinn, where's the frying pan? And she says 3rd drawer. I think she's the drawer. Where is it? There we go. 3rd drawer in the far left. Who keeps frying pans in the drawer? Win Grace, don't tell me you do. You don't keep frying pans in the drawer. Keep them in the cupboard. Or hung on the wall. Or whatever. You know, you don't keep them in the drawer, do you? Anyway, you can't find it. So, got to sort their own breakfast out. And then she's saying to him that she's been trying to get in touch with Mum and all that. I think she talks about Elise here. She says she's not hungry. Yeah, I went to see a psychic, she says. She wanted to talk to Mum. So they have a bit of an argument because she thinks her dad don't want to talk about her mum. He says, whenever I bring her up, we always get into an argument. And, it's like you don't want to remember her. And obviously he says, not in so many words, he's kind of he's bottling it all up, you can tell. He says, I think of her all the time when I look at you, because it must look like her mum. But I'd have put it a different way. I wouldn't have said that because it's kind of creepy. But I'd have said something like, I think about her every day, and whenever I look at you and Alex, I'd have said that. But anyway, and Justin's here saying, hello, la la la. I'd have put it a different way. But and I'd have said, I think about her all the time. But, I don't like to talk about it because, it hurts. That's what they said. It's been a year and it still hurts. So that's what I'd have put in the script. But anyway, he doesn't. He just says, I think about her all the time when I look at you. Anyway. Right, we're back at Elise's house. I think we are. She's going to her reading room. She's got a padlock on the door. She's having a sit and a think, and the dog's looking at her, and this is where she decides that she's gonna help Quinn. She just says it. There we go. Fine, I'll help her, but you're staying here. Like Jones the cat. She's stayed like what's his name again? I've bloody forgotten. Warren is staying there, like Jones the cat. So she's going to have another reach out to Lilith Brenda. Seinfeld reference. I've never seen Seinfeld, ever. I've not even seen one episode. I'm obviously aware of it, but I've never sat and watched Seinfeld. Never. Not even one episode. I've seen clips, obviously, because it's everywhere, isn't it? But I've never sat and watched it. Anyway, she's trying to reach out, and but she doesn't get through to Lilith. That's what she says, by the way, Lilith. Where are we? There we go. I'm reaching out to her. How does she know she's Lilith? Because she said her name's Lily. You think that'd be fair enough? Lily doesn't have to be the shortened form of Lilith, does it? You could just have Lily. She says Lilith. Maybe she just guessed. I don't know. Maybe that's why she doesn't get in touch with her. As I said earlier, maybe she looked her up in the obituaries. I don't know. But anyway. But she doesn't get through to Lily. But then we see the footprints have appeared. The icky footprints from the man who can't breathe. Anywho. So she follows them. There we go. As you would. I wouldn't. And then we see the reading room lock is open. Oh, well, she had the key, by the way, round her neck. Suddenly it's gone and in the lock. Ooh, pardon me. I can still taste that pot noodle I had earlier on. By the way, speaking of pot noodles, why have they changed the pot that the pot noodle comes in? This might be a UK thing. I do apologise. But pot noodles used to come in a nice white plastic pot with a good lip on it and all that were nice to hold. Ridged around the top. You pour your water in, leave it, stir it, and all that. They've changed them to the bloody like paper pots now, or cardboard pots that are not as big and they're not as nice to hold because they're all squidgy when the hot water goes in. come on, whoever makes them these days. It used to be Golden Wonder, but it's not anymore, is it? I don't know who makes pot noodles now, but go back to the old pots. Anyway, where were we? Right, so she's going to go into her reading room. And then she says, I know you're not her mother. She says, but see the footprints, going down the stairs. There they are. So she goes down and she's following the footprints. And then she even says, look, I fought many like you in my time, demon. So it must be like the Warrens, you know, Ed and Lorraine. Everything was a demon for them, wasn't it? Anyway, speaking of the Warrens, the latest Conjuring movie is out, innit? Conjuring Last Rites, which, you know, I'm not going to go see. I'll watch it. Actually, I might not. I don't think I didn't even see the last one. I don't think. I can't remember which the last one was. Was it Something Made Me Do It? The Devil Made Me Do It? Or was the one after that? There might have been. I've no idea. No idea. Oh, the first one were alright, and the second one were alright. The second one was like the Enfield Poltergeist, but it was nothing like the real Enfield Poltergeist story. But anyway, but that's another film. Whitney Grace says, I've heard it's not good, mostly about family drama and not scares. And it's like over 2 hours long and all, isn't it? It's too long for a film, in my opinion. Especially a horror film. Anyway, there you go. She follows the footprints, whatever, and then they just stood at the wall. We're going to get another jump scare. I know we're not counting them, but here it comes. I've gone too far. Right, here we go. Jump scare time. Because it's got walking up the wall. And obviously it's going to be there, look. It's there. Reaches out, grabs hold of her. She runs off. She's had a scare, as poor Elise. And she's not getting any younger, is she? Although she's younger in this film than she was in the other two, but never mind, because it's a prequel. Anywho, another spooky bit coming up. She's on, whatever, FaceTime or whatever it was called in 2007 with Danielle. And they're having a little chat, and she says, oh, is that Alex next to you? There's somebody standing next to you. And she says, well, there's nobody here, obviously. But anyway, so she's telling her about the bell. There we go. Hey, is that Alex? There's Alex next to you. And there's nobody next to her. And then she freezes up. Does Maggie. And then I think she hears the sound of a, whatchamacallit, a wheelchair. There we go. We like of a wheelchair. It's there. It's like, oh. So then something. What happens next? I can't remember. Is it just a noise, or is there somebody there? Is it this bit? Oh yes, it's this bit. I like this bit because it kind of reminds me of the Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. If you're into ghost videos on YouTube and stuff, there's a channel called the Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. Can't remember the fella that runs it. His name is something like Trent or something like that. Can't remember. But he says he lives in a haunted house and he's been filming or videoing really bad quality things that happen in his house. And there's a thing here that is just like it. But I think this came first. I think the oldest stuff on his channel is like, I don't know, about 7 years old. And this came out in 2015, so this is 10 years old. So maybe you got the idea from this. There we go. She looks across the room and sees a figure standing behind the curtain. So she freaks out. And it's him there. But this is the bit that reminds me of the Ghost of Carmel, Maine. It comes through the curtain and just drops down. And there's actually a video of that Carmel, Maine chap. And he sees a thing in his curtains. You just see like a shape in his curtains. And he challenges it. He goes, hey, what are you doing? And it just like goes woof, woofs down. He gets a lot of weird figures. What are you doing, princess? I'm trying to talk and all I can hear behind me is crackling and stuff because I've got a box. It's going to be one of those streams, isn't it, where I keep getting distracted. I've got a box over there because I've bought some shelves that I haven't put up yet. The box has been there for about 2 months now. And I haven't I haven't put them up yet. So I've got a big pile of Blu-rays and stuff here behind me. I've got a big pile of them, and so I need new shelves. And I haven't got around to putting them up. But Princess has decided she wants to sit on top of that box now, and it's fastened up with tape and all that, like boxes are. She decided that she wants to play with the tape and make lots of crinkly noises, don't you? GK. She's not listening to me. Anyway, back to the film. What was I saying? Oh, right, Ghost of Carmel, Maine. Yes, it is a good channel. Look, search for it, and some interesting stuff. His videos and stuff have been on like Nuke's Top 5 and those other ghosty channels. So Spooks. What else? Mind Junkie. What else? Fearsome Top 5. I watch a lot of them. What's another one? What they call him now? Can't remember. Never mind. Anyway, so she freaks out about that. She looks under her bed. I won't. I'd just be out of there. Broken legs or not. But obviously something gets her. As we see, something drags her. There we go. What is there? Oh, why is there underneath? It's dangling down from the ceiling. I've never noticed that before. Oh, yes, he grabs hold of her and there we go, pulls her up, and he's there hanging by his feet. So it must be glue, the stuff that's in his, on his feet, the track he's leaving. It's like that glue off Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Throws her across the room. She's screaming. Remember, she's got broken legs and she's in casts. And then it drops down and it's heading towards her. But then I think Dad comes in, he arrives and saves her just in the nick of time. Says, what's happening? What you doing, you? She's been very naughty. Do you want to go out? Yeah. I'll go let Princess out. Just bear with me. And I will answer Win Grace's question when I get back. Think about it while I'm gone. You're being a pest, aren't you? Cats and kids and teapot lids. Anywho, I'm back. Wingrace asks, what do you consider the scariest film? I don't know. Even though I said I'd answer it when I got back. Because there's jump scares, which I don't count as being like scary. I'm into more, as I said, more creepy things. Things that fill you with dread. I don't mean just dread. I mean, existential dread. So I think The Exorcist. Everybody always says The Exorcist, but I think The Exorcist is genuinely scary. The first Insidious film, give me the willies, quite a lot. The Haunting, not the 1999 one, the original Haunting from 1963, particularly the wallpaper scene where you see a pattern of face in the wallpaper, or a bit of pareidolia or whatever. But and then you hear the moaning, coming from somewhere in the house. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. So I don't know what the scariest film is, because it's subjective, innit? It's subjective. But those are my favourite scary films. As I said, I like creepy things, or things that make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Those sorts of films, rather than films that just go boo. That's just annoying to me. But anywho, Quest is here. Hey, I'm late. Didn't get the notification. Well, that's YouTube, isn't it? That's bloody YouTube these days. But thank you for joining us, Melvin. Watched your video earlier on your Star Trek one. Very good, very good. Didn't like it, did you? I thought, but all right. Not a good season finale, but never mind. Right, anyway, back to this. So he comes in. Oh, what happened, Queen? He said, I was thrown across the room. What are you talking about? But anyway, now she's got a thing on her neck. They've called out the EMTs or whatever. But anyway, so they go, what happened? Here we go. I was thrown out of bed. I think she's Reagan from The Exorcist, speaking of which. Anyway, and he's telling him that there's something in the flat apartment, and it's not Mom, because she's been trying to contact Mom, but we never see her trying to contact Mom, really. But anyway, I'd say she doesn't do like Ouija boards or seances or anything like that, but there you go, she's describing it. But obviously, he's sceptical, he don't really believe her. But anyway. And so he goes down into the foyer or whatever, and we see that some more medical people are there, and Mel is signing forms. And this is quite sad, actually. I did actually choke up a little bit here, that because Grace has died, and he says she's gone, and so it's quite a sad little bit. He says he knew people called her crazy and all that, and the cat lady, but she was his wife, and he loved her, but she's gone. But I don't think it's the last we see of her in this film. Maybe we hear of it. I don't know, but anyway. So that's all very sad. So there you go. So he's offering his support. Meanwhile, she's on the couch. I think we get another scare coming up. Quest says, I used to love a good scary movie, but I felt that there was a constant stream of scary movies that were good and terrible. Kind of put me off a lot. It can be overdone, can't it? But I saw Weapons yesterday. Quick review. Not as good as everybody makes it out to be. It is good. I didn't hate it or anything like that, but it's not the masterpiece everybody seems to be making it out to be. I think my expectations were subverted somewhat. I thought it were going to be something that it turned out not to be. But anyway. Where were we? Yeah, is this the bit where we're going to get another scare? Another jump scare. As I said, 12 to 14 jump scares in this. She looks up, see the crack, moving look. Maybe it's not this. Or is it this bit? Yeah, she's hiding under the covers, as you do. As I did when I saw my 2 ghosts when I was a kid. Which I've spoken about before. Is it this bit? She's going to look. Or would it another part? It might be later on in the film. I don't know. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to skip over it. That's why I'm doing this. Or it might be later on in the film. There is a bit where she's looking up, and there's a face there right in front of her. And she's like, ah! And I went, ah! I went, bloody hell. Oh, was that on? No, that might have been on Weapons. Yesterday I was watching, because there were a part of that that made me jump, and I went, bloody hell, that made me jump. So, but anyway, whatever. Right, so she opens her eyes. She's on the bed or whatever. Oh, not on the bed, on the couch, sleeping. She opens her eyes, and then suddenly, it's obviously a dream sequence, I'm guessing, because she just wakes up. She's in a corridor. By the way, the carpet in the corridor, very reminiscent of The Shining carpet, isn't it? Remember that? Obviously, it's not exactly like it, but it's kind of reminiscent of it. Is that deliberate? Probably. It's on the 5th floor. I don't know what floor they live on. The 5th? I've no idea. Does it tell us? But anyway. It's there behind her, look. There behind her is the man who can't breathe. Should have called him something else. I mean, in the second film, we had I forgot now call him now. The Raggedy Man, or whatever they called him. Have we seen him again in the Conjuring films? I don't know, because I don't think I've seen any of the others. I think I've only seen the first 2. I'm more of a fan of the Annabelle films. I know people don't like the Annabelle films, but I really like them. But anyway. It felt like a Strange New World show finale, not a season finale. Or was that just me? No, me as well. If to watch my video, Melvin, you'd know that. But anyway. So he's shoving her down the corridor. Here we are, to room 514. I don't know, is this their room? I've no idea. Because I don't know, I've been paying attention to the door numbers where they live. So anyway, just dumps her in the room like that. And it's not a dream. No, it's not a dream. I've just remembered. She was asleep on the bed, and then she's woken up in a wheelchair on the floor above. So they live on the 4th floor. She's on the floor above. She's in the empty apartment now. And she's banging on the floor. Oh my! But first, this figure comes, and it's actually supposed to be her. And we see she's got no eyes and no hands for some reason. But she got an amazing. Never mind. I'm just saying by that shot. He's no eyes. But like an amazing, yeah. But it's her, by the way, Because we learn later on that the man who can't breathe has got part of her soul. When she died in the hospital, he got part of her soul, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to get her soul. He wants to get the rest of her. So what we see there is the part of her that he's got. So the bit with no eyes and no hands. But he wants the rest of her. Anyway, she's banging on the floor and all that. And so obviously Dad comes up with his baseball bat. If this were in Britain, it'd be a cricket bat, no doubt. But he's got his baseball bat and goes to help her. And they go to see the icky footprints. It reminds me, I don't know what it reminds me of. Oh, that's it, Constantine. The film Constantine, where the devil, he leaves icky footprints, doesn't he? He leaves all, played by Peter Stormare. He leaves icky footprints, doesn't he? But there's also something else in a book I once read, I think. It was a Graham Masterton book. It might have been The Devils of D-Day, I'm not sure which. But I think that describes a demon walking about, and because they're so vile, and horrible and full of, disease and all that. They're the worst of anything out there, all just disgusting, the demons. They leave, like pungent, disease-ridden footprints everywhere. But anyway, Quest says, I haven't watched a lot of YouTube the last couple of days. And today, the last time I looked at the time, was 4:33 p.m. and then it was almost 10. I was watching an anime. Hey, bloody animes, taking all your time up. Anyway, so they're following these footprints. Up to that room with the bed, and we see the window's broken now. It wasn't broken before. I don't think we heard it get broken. I don't know how it's got broken. I think he thinks there's just an intruder there that's just leaving icky footprints. The foot intruder with the dirtiest feet ever. Anyways, he's followed the footprints. There we go. And we got the. He doesn't think, how have they ended up on the wall? I think he just thinks he's just thrown himself out of the window, because that's what he says when he looks. He looks through the window. He lifts it up, right? Sorry, there's a bit coming later on. I'm thinking, why is she worrying about getting all glass on her? Because see, the window's broken, but he's lifted it up. I didn't notice that earlier on. And then we look down and then go, Jesus, he jumped, and we see a body. He's obviously supposed to have jumped through the window, hasn't he? But I don't think we heard anything. I don't think we did. But I could be wrong. Anyway, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Unity a lot this week too. I wasn't a fan of Assassin's Creed Unity. That's the Paris one, isn't it? There was too much going on for me in that game. But anyway. And Syndicate as well, I wasn't a fan of. Anyway, right, so she decides she wants to have a look, so she goes and looks out the window, but then he grabs hold of her. There we go. Hang on, because I've missed a bit, haven't I? There we go. She's looking out, and then he appears and grabs her, starts pulling her out, so he pulls her back in, and all jolly exciting. And then there's a deleted scene in between these. I think he gets her back down to their apartment, tucks her up in bed and all that, and says, "What do you want me to do?" Because now he knows something weird's going on, and she's kind of in shock a bit. And all she does is she reaches into her diary and gets out Elise's contact details, so Elise's name and address and that. So that's why we see he's at Elise's now. So. He's saying, I want you to help me. She says, I can't help her. I've tried, but there's nothing I can do, and all that. And there's the picture of her husband, because we're going to see him later on, who we learn took his own life. But she's kind of bitter about that. But she does miss him. She loved him, but he suffered from depression apparently, and she does say, I can't imagine what were going through his mind, that he wanted to take his own life, which is true. You don't know, do you? You'll be people that, you live with and you think you really don't know what's going through the head, do you? But anyway. I see where She says there are two worlds that exist beyond ours. There's a light world and a dark world, and this demon exists in the dark world, and all it wants is chaos and souls and all that stuff. It just wants dark things. And then she says the reason that she doesn't do it anymore, this is because last time she encountered a woman, an entity driven by evil. We all know that is. If you've seen the other two films, it's, the Bride in Black. It was actually a man, we learn in the second film. It was played by a man in the first film. That is one of the scariest scenes, by the way, in the film. The beginning, the opening sequence to Insidious, where the credits are going, and it's panning through the house. You've seen all this spooky little, a shadow in the background. Something moves, and then it just goes through into the bathroom or something. It just goes through into a room, and there's this terrifying woman's face in the darkness. Anyway, it's her. But she had none of it. Yeah. not the nun. That's the Conjuring. In here, it's the Bride in Black. Anyway, which were a man. We found out his name, didn't we, in the second one? And that it like and abused as a child. I think forced to dress up like a girl by his mother, something like that. And then when he were grown up, he dressed like a woman, murdered people like a serial killer, and kept them all in his. He had like a church, a chapel or whatever, a chapel in his house, and kept all the bodies there, didn't he? But anyway, and he became the Bride in Black after I think he took his own life or whatever, or something happened to him. Anyway, she's encountered that spirit, and the Bride in Black said, she's going to try and kill her, so that's why she didn't carry on doing that, because she obviously don't want to die. But we do see the Bride in Black in this. Anyway, he says to her, well, just come and talk to her, and all that. So she comes to, hey, hello, I'm come to see you. And I thought she was going to talk to her and just say, I'm just here to offer support, and we're not doing any of that spooky stuff. But she does. She can't help herself, can she? Anyway, she's saying that, she's seen it and all that, and then we go straight away, seance time, no messing. So in she goes. There she's in the further. She hasn't called it that yet, because we've got to wait for Specs and Tucker to arrive, and but that's not yet. So here she is in the further, and she finds, who's this? It's herself. She looks round, and she finds a weird shaped lantern. She goes wandering through the halls of the apartment, and then she sees a red door. In all the Insidious films, always a red door. There were the red door, like an attic door, one in the first two. And in this one, it's this elevator door. I think there's another one somewhere as well. Is it a reading room door? Is that red? Might be. Anyway, so and I can't remember in the last key what the red door is, but I'm sure there is one. It says it's the Borg Queen. Is it? Is it Alice Krieger down there? Oh, it's been a couple of good horror films. Alice Krieger, or was it Krieg, whatever. She was in Ghost Story in 1981, which is a really good film. I really like that. I watched that at Christmas. And Sleepwalkers, I really like that one as well. The Conjuring, Insidious, is there really that much of a difference? Yes, there is. Insidious is good. Conjuring, not as good, in my opinion. Although The Conjuring is the most successful horror franchise, pardon me, ever. I think it is, isn't it? Anywho. Right, so she encounters spirits as she goes, people that lived in the apartment. They go, where's the man who can't breathe? She's meeting the other peeps. This is a weird one. She sees somebody standing, with her back to her, and she reaches out, and then she pulls her hair out. There's a face there. Get away from me! And I'm thinking, is this where James Wan got his idea for Malignant? Which was, I don't know. I said it was on the internet. Somebody were on about this film Malignant. If you haven't seen it, spoilers. It's about a woman that's got a Siamese twin. Work the rest out yourself. And the Siamese twin takes over and goes around killing people and stuff. But she's like walking around backwards and stuff because the Siamese twin is on the back of her head. It's dead stupid. It is unintentionally hilarious. And I said, I think it was on a Facebook thing. Somebody were on about it. People that liked the film were on about it. And I said it was unintentionally hilarious. And I got hog piled on. Or dog piled. What is the phrase? Whatever. But saying it was intentionally hilarious. Like, yeah, whatever. It's a rubbish film, is Malignant. It is mental. Anyway, so she sees that. And off she goes on her adventure in the further. They're watching her. I don't know if they can hear her. I don't know if she's speaking. When she's speaking to the spirits and stuff, I don't know if she's speaking in the real life or whatever. I don't know. But anywho, Windgrace, it's just basket case for normies. Malignant. Yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it? It's a film I haven't seen for a long time. Basket case. Bloody hell. I wish they would remake Child's Play properly. Proper, like a supernatural one. The remake wasn't bad. I didn't mind it, actually. It was better than I thought it was going to be, the remake. But it wasn't Child's Play, was it? It was more like Megan, wasn't it? Because it were like, robots, sort of, rather than a supernaturally possessed doll. But anyway. But it wasn't a bad film, I didn't think. I thought it was okay. Just wasn't Child's Play. Anyway, so here she goes looking there. She goes disappearing into the further. She's gone out, look, she's somewhere else. What is this house? Is it one we've seen before? I don't know. But it's somebody else's house. Is it the house from the second film? Is it one of the Lambert's house? Or is it just, I don't know, but she's gone to another house. Looking round. I'm guessing it must be the house where the Brenners lived. Because I think this might be. Is it? It might not be. No, I don't think it is. I would say is this Lily Brenner, but I don't think it is. Because this actress, we've seen in the other two Insidious films. I think it's her anyway. Does she have is she credited? Don't know. Two-faced woman was Erin Anderson. Two-faced woman. But I think this actress, I don't know. Says here Lambert woman. What does that mean? I've no idea. By the way, Warren, the dog, is played by Owen. Owen the Golden Retriever. That's his credit. But he's uncredited. But that's what it says on IMDb. Owen the Golden Retriever. That must be his full name. No, her that plays her. She was in the other two Insidious films. In the first one, she played one of the ghost figures that look like dolls. Do you remember when they were in the first film? They kind of look like dolls, don't they? Or mannequins. She was one of them. She was in the second one as well, but I can't remember who she played in the second one. Maybe it's in the trivia. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Anyway, does it say? Let's have a look. There's not that much trivia, so it shouldn't take me long to go through. Very done. Very done. No, it doesn't. Not that I've noticed. No, never mind. Anywho, I don't think she's Lily, because we see Lily later on. I'm sure it's not her. But anyway. So she's in this house. I don't know where she's supposed to be. And this is where... have I missed it? Here she comes. This is where the bride in black appears and starts throttling her because she threatened to kill her. Which is why she wouldn't, which is why she got out of the business, because she didn't want to die, obviously. So she's being throttled by the bride in black, but she gets out of it. So I guess next day they're trying to work out what to do. Alex is on his computer. They've gone to spectralsightings.com or whatever. this is where we're going to meet Specs and Tucker, obviously ghost hunters. So there they are, doing their ghost hunting stuff. Should get the Ouija brothers in, or Ghosts on Trent. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? I like the Ouija brothers. Not a big fan of Griff, but anyway, never mind. I'm sure he's lovely. Anyway, so they give them a ring, so they're out. They come in their van, spectral sight. This is where we're going to meet. That's Specs. That's Lee Wanell as Specs. I don't know why they call him that. And that's Tucker, played by Angus Sampson with his mad hair. I've seen him in other things, and I'm blanking on what else I've seen him in. So I'm going to have to look it up now. Hey, Angus Sampson, third credited, by the way, and I think we're over an hour into the film. Opening new tab, Angus. What else have I seen you recently? I've seen him in something recently, and I can't remember what. Oh, it might be Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah. I'm sure I've seen him in something else and not that. We were in Our Flag Means Death. I didn't see him in that. All that 30 seconds I watched of it. Maybe The Walking Dead. Yeah, maybe I've seen him in that. They were in that as well. And obviously all the Insidious films, except for the last one, which is crap. Yeah, probably Mad Max I'm thinking of. Anyway, so they're introducing them, they're going to use their equipment to scout the place out. So they've got their night vision cameras and all that stuff, probably, thermometers and whatever they call them, and all that stuff. They stick a GoPro on her head and the microphone on her top and all that, so they can see if she gets out of bed. Quest says, now Strange New Worlds is done for a while. Stop changing the subject. We're supposed to be all scared. Anyway, never mind. For a while, I'm trying to figure out if it's worth staying subbed to Paramount Plus. I'm in the same boat. I'm going to cancel my subscription now. I just subscribe while Strange New Worlds is on. I'm not even going to subscribe when bloody Starfleet Academy comes on. I'm telling you, I'm not. I refuse. I also subscribe to Shudder, and I think I'm gonna leave that going till after Halloween in case they put some special stuff on. Because I know they've got a new VHS film coming out, so I'll stay subscribed to Shudder until after spooky season ends. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes, right. So they've stuck a GoPro on her head. Can't be comfortable, but there it is. So they're gonna keep an eye on her. Anyway, meanwhile, Elise is meeting with Carl. I think. Is it Carl? Yes, it is Carl. Oh, we saw in the second film. Did he die in that one? Or nearly die? Something happened to him, didn't it? Maybe he did die. Wingray says Star Trek Scouts. That's on YouTube, though, isn't it? That's on YouTube, which I haven't watched yet. Anyway, so what we're seeing here? Oh, we're seeing the photos of Josh Lambert, aren't we? The photos of the bride in black hovering around Josh Lambert. So at first we thought it was a blemish on the lens or whatever, and no, it's obviously not, because she's there. She's fucking big hands, sorry, reaching out, not leaving much to the imagination, is it? I mean, look, you'd be like, oh, what's that? It's a ghost standing behind him. Obviously, it'd be too good to be true. But anyway, so she's gone to him for some advice or whatever. So I think he was involved with the Josh Lambert stuff when they were younger. Obviously, he's all grown up now. He's turned into Patrick Wilson, hasn't he? But they were saying, you saved them. You saved Josh Lambert, and now you've got to save Quinn. Got a Masters of the Universe t-shirt on. Wingray says the only thing I watch on there is South Park, and that's mostly just because I have it. I don't watch anything on Paramount Plus. And I said there's loads of good stuff on it. There's Tulsa King and all that stuff, which I started watching. I just not got around to watching the rest of it. Yeah, there we go. Quest says, I'm keeping it going. Just remembered season 3 of Tulsa King starts on 21st. I haven't got to the end of season 1. But I did enjoy it because it's, it's sly, but Stallone. Anyway, there he is. He's nodded off. There was a deleted scene, I think, in between these, where I think Specs is explaining what they do to Sean. Is that his name? Sean? I think he's called Sean, is he? Yes, Sean Brenner. So, and like a minute scene where he's just explaining what they do, the equipment they use and all that, but that's about it. But he's nodded off as Tucker, but then we see his camera. This is the feed from the GoPro. We see it moves. He's obviously getting out of bed, but he's not seen because he's asleep. And then suddenly all the lights go out. Don't know why, they just do. And then he wakes up and notices, oh, she's out of bed. How can she be? She's got like broken legs. But anyway, she's walking about. So anyway, they're going down the corridor and to her room. They're all scared, obviously. Because they ask him. I think in the deleted scene, he says, "How often do you, what do you do? Why are you called ghost hunters?" He says, "Because we hunt ghosts." He says, "All right, how many ghosts have you found?" And he said, "Well, none." So they've never seen a ghost yet. But anyway, so they're following where the camera is, and it seems as though she's in the closet. So that's where the feed is coming from. There we go. He's looking in the closet, but he just finds the camera by itself, and she's behind him. She's behind you. There we go. Hang on, where are we? There we go. She's behind him, and she just beats them all up with something. And there we go. What is it? Is it an adjustable wrench? I think it is, isn't it? He's going to show us it. Come on, I just saw it then. It won't bloody find it again. I think it's an adjustable wrench, is it? Oh, for Christ's sake. Well, there we go. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Beats them with that. Don't kill them, obviously. Just knocks them about. And then she starts smashing her legs. Well, her casts off. There we go. Because she's possessed, I'm guessing now. Well, yeah, monkey wrench. Yes, that's what we call them over here. But adjustable spanner, adjustable wrench, etc. They have many names, for they are legion. Speaking of demons. There you go. So she smashes them off, and then she rips off her neck brace, and she's like, she starts having a go at her dad and says he's a bad dad. And they go, your wife had to die to get away from you. And then, but she's going to keep him alive to watch him suffer, and then she's going to, end herself because she goes to get a knife or something. She goes to kill herself anyway, and obviously the stopper. There we go. No, and as they're holding her down, there we go. We see this thing here. That thing goes up her throat, and then we see, oh, there's an eye in her mouth, which kind of reminds me that film. I forgot what it was called now. The film about the Dybbuk box that had I forgot his name now. The Winchester lad's father. I can't remember what they call it. Dybbuk box film. Something like Possession or Possessed. The Possession, that's it. The Possession. There was a thing in that, wasn't there, where there was some fingers or something come out of somebody's mouth. It kind of reminds me of that. Or was there an eye in that one? Can't remember. The Possession. What was his name? Hang on. Where are you? When did it come out? I forgot his name and it's bothering me. Live telly. 2012. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that's the fella. It's a good film, is that, by the way, The Possession. It's okay. But I don't have it on Blu-ray, unfortunately. I'll have to change that. I've ordered some Blu-rays, by the way. What have I ordered today? I ordered 3. I ordered Mars Attacks. The films that I think I haven't got on Blu-ray. Mars Attacks. What else? Can't remember. AI, Artificial Intelligence. So I'll be crying at that at some point. What was the other one? I genuinely can't remember. Inner space. Anyway, there's an eye in her mouth. I'm guessing it's supposed to be the man that can't breathe, or the man who can't breathe, or whatever it's called. But that's it. It's just a little thing that they just put in there, just, I don't know, for shock value, because we'll never see it again. It don't come bursting out of her or anything in a fountain of gore. It's just, that's it. They just tie her up, and that's it. And they're freaking out. We're not qualified for this, so he said, "Get out! You don't know what you're doing. Get out of my house." But then Elise comes in and says, "We'll need them. We'll let them stay." So they're going to become a team. There's Specs, Tucker, and Elise. He tells Alex to go and stay with the next door neighbour. No, there's no pea soup in this one. So Alex goes to stay with the next door neighbour. They're basically booting him out. She says, you don't want to see, what's going to happen tonight. And I'd be thinking, yes, I do now. Now you've said that. But anyway. So he sods off to the neighbours. This entity is very powerful. So, anyway, so she says, he's the tech guy. So it says, it's your job to record everything, cameras and stuff like that we're going to do. So they're going to have another seance. He says, what do you do? And he says, well, I do the website. I do, I forgot what they call it already. But I do the website. I'm a writer. He says, okay. And he's a writer because he wrote the film as well as directed it. So he says, you can write down what I see or what I say, what I say I'm seeing. Which is what he does in the first film. Because she doesn't get the gas mask thing out in this one. Because she put a gas mask on, didn't she? And he had headphones on, so only he could hear. He could hear her muffled voice, but only he could hear it properly. And he would write down what she said, didn't he? And that's what he's doing here. Because this is their origin story. Anyway, so they're going to do it now. There we go. In a minute. There we go. We're going to start now. And this is where he's going to write it down. And this is where he says, what you're going to call this... says, we're going to go to this other place. And he says, what's it called, this other plane that you go into? And she went, I don't know. We'll call it The Further. And he goes, good name. But anyway, so he's got to write all that down. Oh, there you go. Cool name. Let's call it The Further. Because that's what we called it in the first film, which hasn't happened yet. Anyway, Quest says, I used to like Repossessed. I think I saw it once when it first came out. I think we probably rented it when it first came out. But I wasn't a fan, to be honest. Leslie Nielsen in it and Linda Blair. It's a spoof on The Exorcist in it. And, I wasn't a fan of it. And I like Leslie Nielsen, but I haven't seen it since then. And this was, I don't know, early 80s, wasn't it, sometime? Like 1983, 84, something like that, wasn't it? I think. So, but I haven't seen it since then. Anyway, so she's going to go into the further we go, she says. And off she goes back in, sees her again, looking for the man who can't breathe. She's helping her, look, she's going with them. There you go, Quinn is his new pet, she says. But they've still got Quinn tied up. I think Quinn is kind of half possessed now or whatever. Was it 1990? I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was like early 80s. I thought, well, not long after like the airplane films. But anyway, never mind. I haven't seen it since then anyway. Anyway, so she sees, she thinks, for some reason, she thinks this is the man who can't breathe, but you think she'd recognise him from behind. Been married for God knows how long. It's her husband, but she doesn't realise this when she gets round. Hang on, what's happened here? What's happened? Something happened. I've missed a bit. Say, the bloody skip. Sees him there. Is it the bride in black going to get her? Yes, it is. The bride in black just suddenly appears out of nowhere and starts throttling her again. And, and I'm going to kill you. Because I'm evil. And then she thinks back to Carl, the chat which she had with Carl earlier on. You're stronger than her, you're alive. So she becomes Ripley now in Alien. There you go. This is how you die. Not today, it isn't. And then she basically kicks him in the balls and whatever. And there we go. Throws him across the room. And she goes, go on, you. I think she says bitch, I think. Come on, what does she say? There we go. It's become Ripley. And obviously, she doesn't. She just melts away behind the door. She's scared off the bridie. But she'll be back, don't worry. She'll be back. You remember that advert? Quest? The, what were it called? It were a public information film that was terrifying in I think sometime the 70s, I think. About the dangers of playing in like open water, in like quarry pits and ponds and lakes and stuff like that, and the dangers of kids, drowning in them and all. But there's always that spooky figure in a hood that lurking, ready to drag kids to their death. And this was a public information film. Anyway, and at the end he says, "I'll be back." Yes, there were loads of those ads. Yes, there were. But that one stuck with me. Anyway, where were we? Right, so she's dealt with the bride in black. Now she's got to deal with this chap, and it's her husband. Ooh, Jack. Hi, Ellie. We all know it's not really Jack, but she thinks it is at first. So she's embracing him, and he's saying, "Oh, I've never got to say goodbye." And he's saying, "No, I can't. I found I couldn't live with you or without you. No, I couldn't live without you, and existence is nothing without you." So basically, he says, "So you've got to take your own life to be with me forever." So we think, actually, he says Jack would never say that. So she realizes. Oh, and he gives her a cutthroat razor. There we go. And he says, "Well, Jack would never say that." So she slashes him. There we go. And it's. He goes off into the darkness and then comes back as him. The man who can't breathe, who is played, by the way, can't remember the name of the actor, Michael Reed McKay, or Mackay, don't know. But he played I can't remember which one it was. The man in Seven who were on the bed and all emaciated, that one. I've never seen Seven all the way through, by the way. But I do remember that bit. I think I've seen a clip of that. He played him. Or his Sloth, something like that. Anyway, Stream Boo, yeah. I'll just check, by the way, on Rumble to make sure we haven't anybody said hello on Rumble. Have the heck. I just thought I'd check though, because you never know. Right, where were we? Yeah, so there he is. She's saying, "Give her back, you bitch." But obviously he doesn't want to. He starts clapping, doing a slow clap. And here comes the no eye, no hands Quinn. But she grabs hold. Doesn't do anything, by the way. She grabs hold of it and starts, taking her out. And they go back. He's obviously chasing them. And he just he just steps out of a room and grabs hold of, half-soul Quinn. I think pushes her down the corridor. She gets up, she turns into a superhero here. Kind of reminds me a bit of like Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors, where it's like in a dream world where you can do whatever you want. But it's not, is it? It's not a dream world. It's a like limbo thing, isn't it? It's like another realm. But she can be like a superhero because she does something. I've missed it. I missed it. There we go. I think she stomps her feet. There we go. Stomps her foot and makes him fall down a hole. But anyway. Does StreamYard show Rumble chat now? I don't think it does. Not for me, anyway. That's why I went and checked. I know Twitch does, but StreamYard doesn't, I don't think. Rumble doesn't, I don't think, yet. Not that anybody ever leaves me a chat on Rumble, but anyway. Anywho, right, so she sent him away for whatever. She grabs hold of Quinn, why can't I bloody remember her name? Grabs hold of, no hands, no eyes, Quinn, and they head back into this room where they are. So the Quinn's there, by the way, now. She wasn't there before, but now she is. And for some reason, I don't know why, before, you'd think she'd like shove Quinn into her body, wouldn't you? But she don't. She like gets into her own body. And wakes up. Oh, by the way, before that happened, when they were all running through the corridor fighting with the man who can't breathe, the apartment in real life, in our realm, was all shaking about and stuff. But anyway, but she wakes up, but then for some reason Quinn hasn't gone back into her own body, and so why didn't she make sure? Why didn't she do her first instead of? Never mind. So Quinn's not out of the woods yet. Because we've got to have somebody else come to save her. Anyway, so it's where we learn. She's got to find a book. There we go. I can't remember who said that, but somebody tells her to find a book. I think it's Grace. That's who it is. It's Grace. I think they do say. There we go. Grace. What book? It's the crazy cat lady. She's speaking to her, so find the diary, and there's a thing in the back of the diary. I don't know if Quinn had ever seen it. There it is. It's a note from her mum. She wanted her to find it on her graduation day, so that must be on the date. But she's obviously never flicked through the diary or dropped it. I mean, it's never fallen out over it. But anyway, it's there, and it's a note from her mum before she passed away, saying how much she loves her and all that. And there she's there, look, her mum is there, but they can't see her, but she's there, and offering her strength, and there's the man who can't breathe, and now she's got the strength now, she's got her hands back, look in her eyes, and she grabs his mask and rips it off, taking all his power away from him, and all that stuff, and there we go, he just turns to dust. And I don't know if he's gone or whatever, but there she is, mum watching on. Obviously they can't see her, and she don't fade away, she just disappears. She's just not there suddenly. But anyway, she could just come back in a minute. She's standing in the doorway, and there she is watching them, but they can't see her. But they should have had a bit with one of Tucker's cameras, and they should have had like a wispy, said, oh, I picked this up on one of our cameras, the wispy image of her mother in the door. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But they don't. Not that I noticed, anyway. Anyway, they do a thing here where, she's got a message for Quinn, as her mother, Lily. Lily's got a message for Quinn, and there you go. She was there at the audition, when she flubbed her audition, she was there, and she'd never been more proud of it, and I'm actually nearly ruining at this bit because I do get emotional at stuff like this because I'm a big softie. But there we go. And she wants you and Sean to be happy and all that stuff. And she's always going to be there. And I'm like, always? So she's always going to be there next to you. What, even when I'm having a poo or doing other things. I'm not comforted by that. But anyway. So she's always going to be there. So they all live happily ever after, and they've become a team now. So there we go. They leave them. Everything's lovely. The man that can't breathe is gone. Maybe, don't know. Do we see him in one of the upstairs windows? I'm wondering now. Let's have a look. See if we see anything. Oh no, that's theirs. Do we see anything? Do they give us a glimpse? Maybe. Nah. Because the rubbish filmmakers, I'd have given a glimpse, I'd have put like, in that window there, I'd have just had a hand go like that, up against the window. The empty apartment above. But, they've no idea, have they? Just for that little code at the end. But anyway, so they're taking their stuff out, what they call it, Spectral Sightings, that's the name of their website. So she's saying, we're a team now, it seems. She's going to get back into the business. So they take her back to her car, wherever that is, somewhere down the street, I imagine. Meanwhile, later that night, back at Elise's home, there she is with her dog Warren, She says nice things to him. There we go. Warren, you old dog, you always look after me. There we go. Don't he just stays in his bloody basket? Pardon me, all the time. There's Owen, the golden retriever. Anywho, she goes and she's going for the I forgot to call it again now. The knitted vest that belonged to her husband Jack. And she turns around and she sees it. So it's not there where it's supposed to be. She looks round and it's on the bed. So did she put it there and forget, or is Jack supposed to have put it there for her? Let you decide. But what's going on here? What are these here? What are them? Don't know. I was just thinking, what are these relevant? These little bedside things? I don't know. But what are the teeth? I don't know what they are. They're on the side of the bed. Anyway. They've got a little container there. I don't know, maybe the nuts. I have no idea. I don't know what they are. So she's all happy and she's thinking, oh, love you, Jack. But then Warren gets up and starts growling into a closet and everything. We can see there's a face there. I was watching it. I was genuinely got the chills when I saw that. Because I don't know what it's supposed to be. I don't know, it's just a face, but that's not the jump scare. But obviously Warren can see him. Can she see it? I don't know, but Warren obviously can. I don't know who it is. Is it? I don't know. No, I'm thinking, is it supposed to be Patrick Wilson? But I don't know. I don't know who it is. I don't know. Or maybe it's the man that can't breathe, how he was before he died or whatever. I don't know. But is there, whatever, there's a scary face. But we can see that we've got a big dark area there. I wonder what's going to happen as she... hang on, let's get the music, let's get the audio on. But somebody's going to make an appearance out there. I wonder who it could be. Yeah, the final jump scare of the film. The lipstick-faced demon makes his appearance again. Joseph Bishara, who did the music, appears as the lipstick-faced demon. So there he is, and that's how the film ends. There we go. Some nice, by the way, some nice closing credits as they're going through the apartment. Because we do see some spooky stuff later. The cracks in the wall, and I think we see a figure at some point somewhere. Maybe probably not land on it. But there we go. Yeah, so good film. I like Chapter 3. I think we're better than the second one. But I'll just double check, make sure there's nothing at the end. I don't think there is. Nah, there ain't. So yeah, we'll go back to the lipstick-faced demon, cause it's terrifying. Hey, you ready? Yeah, I like Insidious Chapter 3. I think it's really good. I think it's a really good film. And you know, Lee Wanell did well for his directorial debut. It's just unfortunate that his other films aren't quite as good. Although I do think he's a capable director. As I said, The Invisible Man, even though I didn't like it as an Invisible Man film, I thought it was an okay film in and of itself. And The Wolfman that came out with it last year, or the year before, whenever, I thought that was a good film in and of itself, just not a good Wolfman film. But anyway, he did another one as well, didn't he? Did he? Did he do one about robots or something? I forgot what to call that. Upgrade or something like that. Was that a Lee Wanell film? I'll have to check. I think I did see that one. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, he did Upgrade as well in 2018. Yes, I thought so, and I think that one was all right. I forgot who were in it. I know I've seen it. I might be thinking of a different film. I don't know. There's no names I recognise in it. I might be thinking of a different film. Maybe I've not seen that one. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, Insidious Chapter 3 is well worth a watch. I think it's on Amazon and YouTube, and it's probably on the other streaming services as well. Oh, you could do what I did and get the Blu-ray. So anyway, his upcoming Creature from the Black Lagoon is about a French guy who watches internet porn too much. All right. Probably, knowing he's like to subvert expectations. He's worse than Ryan Johnson. But yeah, is that what he's doing next, Creature from the Black Lagoon? Why do I say it like that? A lagoon. Let's have a look. Filmography. It doesn't say there. What about on IMDb? What does it say on IMDb? For director, because I know there is another Creature from the Black Lagoon film. I have seen that. Where are we? Does it say? It doesn't say. Oh, maybe somebody else is doing it then. Upcoming, The Green Hornet, and an upgrade TV series. Oh, right. Oh, I see. Fair enough. So who's doing the Creature from the Black Lagoon remake? I want to look that up now. Because I know there is one coming, isn't there? I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. From the Black Lagoon. Not Black Lagoon. We've got a link. Not that I can see. IMDb, you're not helping. You're not blooming helping. No. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. Right, I'll type it into Google. Creature from the Black Lagoon remake is in development. Oh, James Wan is directing it. So we were close. But it's just in development. That's it. It's Atomic Monster. I remember seeing a YouTube video about it, and I remember saying James Wan's Atomic Monster is behind it. But it's not going to be another effort in the Dark Universe thing. So, but it's still in development, right? Fair enough. Justin's going. Have a good weekend. Got a rest for overnight shift. Crikey, yes, you go and have half an hour. Crikey, he's given us a super sticker as well. Thank you very much, Justin. That's hugely kind of you. I've got to open up YouTube now and to see what it is. Hey, just a minute. Where are you? Live. Come here. Spladosh. Let's have a look. Okay, I do yawn. Oh, it's a cat saying bye-bye. So bye-bye, Justin. You'll get sorted. Justin, for your night shift. Hey. On the night shift. So thank you for that. That is amazing. Thank you. I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, so yes, so it's Insidious Chapter 3. Good film, well worth a watch. Let me get rid of that, and I'll make myself big. There we go. Well worth a watch. I think it's really, really good. It's one of the better. It's probably the best of the sequels. I like the first one the most, obviously. The second one's okay, but it's not as good as this one. The Last Key I didn't mind. I've just bought that on Blu-ray. Where is it? Here somewhere. If I can find the bugger. It's not there. I don't know where to put it. Somewhere safe. I don't know where to put it. Where the hell have I put it? I know where I've put it. I put it over there with the other Insidious films. Anyway. So yes, so they're good. But the Red Door I didn't like because Patrick Wilson directed that, didn't he? Insidious: The Red Door, and it's about Josh Lambert, Patrick Wilson, and his grown-up son Dalton, played by the same actor who was a kid in the first one. He's grown up now. He plays the grown-up version of himself in this one, and it's crap. It's bloody awful. It's a rubbish film, but anyway. There we go. Right, we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. For another week. So what's coming up next? What day are we on? Friday. Sunday, I might do a sketch stream. Live sketch stream, we'll see. And Monday, for Magnificent Mondays this week, we're doing Under Siege 2. starring my favourite actor, Steven Seagal. Pardon me. Just thought, we did Under Siege last week. I thought, sod it, we'll do Under Siege 2 next week. And then next Friday, for next Friday's appointment with Fear, we're doing The Box. We're supposed to do that last week, but my Blu-ray wouldn't play in any of my Blu-ray players, so I'm guessing it was faulty. And I could have sent it back. I got it off Amazon, but it was Amazon Marketplace. It was like £3, and I thought it's not worth it, so I just ordered it again off eBay this time. Another £3. And this one works. I've tried it, so we're doing that next Friday. Good is The Box. I like that. Under Siege 3 with Seagal and Savalas is the best. I won't be able to watch that. I won't be able to watch it. It'd be awful. My head would explode. I would. I'd just be bright red. I'd look like... Hang on, where are we? I'd look like that watching the film. Or that, should I say. I'd look like that watching the film. Oh, God. Anyway. Right, so that's what's coming up. So we leave it there. So thanks, Win Grace, and thanks, Justin, and thanks for the super sticker. Thanks, Melvin at Quest. Go and watch his Star Trek vid. Go subscribe to Quest. Go and subscribe to Win Grace. Win Grace does great videos as well. Music ones and reviews, and Quest does cool reviews and stuff, and live streams and all that cool stuff. Did we have anybody else pop in? I'll just go check back. No, we didn't. Right, no, we didn't. Apart from Stream Boo. But we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Hang on, let me get sorted before I say all this for my outro. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, don't have nightmares. I'm sure I've forgotten something. I'm sure I'm going to say something. I can't remember what it was. I'm hopeless. I should have notes. But anyway, whatever. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. All the stuff that's down there. do what the screen tells you to do, and explore the links in the description for merch, etc. But anyway, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. Don't have nightmares, and until next time, I'll say the...